Our awareness is all that is alive and may be sacred in any of us. Everything else about us is dead machinery. Nobody's so damn well educated that you can't learn 90% of what he knows in 6 weeks. The other 10% is decoration. People took such awful chances with chemicals in their bodies because they wanted the quality of their lives to improve. They lived in ugly places where there were only ugly things to do. They didn't own doodly squat, so they couldn't improve their surroundings. So they did their best to make their insides beautiful instead. The planet was being destroyed by manufacturing processes, and what was being manufactured was lousy, by and large, but his head no longer sheltered ideas of how things could be and should be on the planet, as opposed to how they really were. There was only one way for the Earth to be, he thought, the way it was. How nice, to feel nothing, and still get full credit for being alive. Like so many Americans, she was trying to construct a life that made sense from things she found in gift shops, but you find out quick enough that old friends are old friends, and nothing more, no wiser, no more help than anyone else. And the charming little cottage he'd taken as a symbol of the good life of a farmer was as irrelevant as a statue of Venus at the gate of a sewage disposal plant. The machines are to practically everybody what the white men were to the Indians. People are finding that, because of the way the machines are changing the world, more and more of their old values don't apply anymore. People have no choice but to become second-rate machines themselves, or wards of the machines. The poetry of 4 seasons is all wrong for this part of the planet, and this may explain why we are so depressed so much of the time. That's one thing Earthlings might learn to do, if they tried hard enough: ignore the awful times, and concentrate on the good ones. That's one thing Earthlings might learn to do, if they tried hard enough: ignore the awful times, and concentrate on the good ones. I am being so silly because I pity you so much. I pity all of us so much. Life is going to be very tough again, just as soon as this is over. And the most useful thought we can hold when all hell cuts loose again is that we are not members of different generations, as unlike, as some people would have us believe, as Eskimos and Australian Aborigines. We are all so close to each other in time that we should think of ourselves as brothers and sisters. You know what else I think? I think life is no way to treat an animal. And not just people, but pigs and chickens, too. Life just hurts too much. Beware of the man who works hard to learn something, learns it, and finds himself no wiser than before. He is full of murderous resentment at people who are ignorant without having come by their ignorance the hard way. No wonder kids grow up crazy. A cat's cradle is nothing but a bunch of X's between somebody's hands, and little kids look and look and look at all those X's. No damn cat, and no damn cradle. People have to talk about something just to keep their voice boxes in working order, so they'll have good voice boxes in case there's ever anything really meaningful to say. Live by the FOMA that make you brave and kind and healthy and happy. But I have to say this in defense of humankind. No matter in what era in history, including the Garden of Eden, everybody just got there. And, except for the Garden of Eden, there were already all these crazy games going on, which could make you act crazy, even if you weren't crazy to begin with. Eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow we die. What should young people do with their lives today? Many things, obviously. But the most daring thing is to create stable communities in which the terrible disease of loneliness can be cured. I admire anybody who finishes a work of art, no matter how full it may be. I believe that reading and writing are the most nourishing forms of meditation anyone has so far found. By reading the writings of the most interesting minds in history, we meditate with our own minds and theirs as well. This to me is a miracle. Anytime I see a person fleeing from reason and into religion, I think to myself, there goes a person who simply cannot stand being so goddamned lonely anymore.